Hey everybody out there, you're tuned in to 91.8 The Fan. You're in my corner and I have a very special guest in the corner. Would you like to unveil your not so secret identity?
Yes, returning once again to the van. I am Matthew Mercer. Ha.
Maha! I feel like there needs to be like some sort of superhero jingle because that was pretty epic. I'm just saying.
Or like overly dramatic hedgehog or some sort of dun dun dun. Make it
That
happen.
sounds
Fix
like
it
a
in post.
killer movie. Did you come here to like stab everybody? That's not good.
It's hard to do. Skype hasn't implemented that yet.
No, well,
Yet.
Microsoft is working on it with the Kinect and everything else. So,
Exactly.
they've already scoping out our bedroom. So in the future,
Yeah.
it'll be the new
It's called
feature for,
multifunctionality.
yeah, for premium users only. 10.99 a month.
Yeah.
Actually, talking about Xbox and all that fun stuff, E3 just happened, and did you get to party at
Yeah.
E3?
I did. I only got to go Tuesday to the actual event, unfortunately, because I was working Wednesday and Thursday. But got to see a lot of great stuff. Got to simmer under a truck ton of NDAs, which is always frustrating. But no, it was great. Got to go to some events. Got to go to the Riot Valve party on Wednesday. Went and did karaoke with a bunch of Bethesda folks on Tuesday. It was a good time. It was a very, very good time.
Well, the really cool thing is you made a lot of Final Fantasy people happy with a announcement out of E3.
Yes, I was happy to finally announce that. That was under wraps for a while.
I'm surprised they were working on it for such a long time, but it just must be exciting to be like, yes, I'm in another Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it was all, I'm such a big fan of the Final Fantasy franchise for so long. And for those who are listening and aren't aware, they finally announced that Final Fantasy Type Zero and Agito are both coming out soon, sooner than you think. Um, with Type Zero being upreds to like a PS4 HD update, I guess, which is awesome. And I play Trey, the bow user of the class. And yeah, we recorded that like 2 years, 2.5 years ago, about 2 years ago. And I guess from what I can only understand is the Vita wasn't quite selling as well in the West as it was doing in Japan, and so they were kind of figuring out how to release the title. Um, and I guess that's why it took so long, because the game was pretty much done, and usually it doesn't take that long to localize something, especially when we're at the point of voice recording. So I'm glad they eventually figured out what they wanted to do with it and to do it in such a cool way. So I'm stoked.
Well, I have to say, as a Vita fan, well, I'm a Sony fan in general, but that makes me a little bit sad because I'd love some more big titles on the Vita. But hey, I understand business is business, so maybe in the
I
future,
know.
maybe one
I
day.
wouldn't be surprised. There's been enough of the Vita fan base speaking out about wanting to have it on Vita as well. So like it wouldn't surprise me, and I can't imagine it would be that much of a transition now. Um, so here's the hoping because my Vita needs some love too.
Oh, yay, you're a Vita fan. High five.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah.
maybe you just have it as a paperweight, which a lot of people do that are my friends.
Uh, I have it. It's chilling next to my PSP and a couple other things. A lot of my travel goes to either that or my iPad. So between the two of those, that's my airplane trip escape.
Yeah, I can understand that. I'm usually pulling up my Vita to play like very text-heavy games on a plane, especially puzzle games, which I can't look up the answers to because I'm stuck on a plane. I love to do that. It drives me nuts, but it's amazing. It's actually a lot of fun.
It's good. Ain't no game facts available here.
Exactly. Unless I just happen to download one onto my phone because I want to cheat. But I haven't done that yet. I've
Ah,
debated it, just not yet.
yet. I respect the preparation.
Well, thank you. But it's funny because the fans, they've been clamoring to get you back because it just seems like you have been in a lot of major anime titles in the past year, from Magi to K to Attack on Titan, and recently Kill la Kill, I believe you were announced in.
Yes, yes. They announced me as Akito Mikisugi, the slightly perverse homeroom teacher with an aversion to clothing.
Perverse is a good word for it.
It's a lot of fun and a nice change of pace from the other aforementioned projects. Although kind of closer to Sinbad, I guess. But Attack on Titan is really Levi's a really intense, very kind of dark badass type role. Similar feel with K, and so it was kind of nice to get a project like Kill, which is so over the top and so just absurd and fun. So we've had a lot of fun playing with the character.
Well, no, I've only seen like animated GIFs of your character. I haven't actually seen it because I was waiting for a dub. Because if it's going to be over the top, I really just don't want to read subtitles, personal preference. So I'm
Fair enough.
excited that they're finally coming out with that.
Me too. Oh man. Yeah, there are some moments. There are I don't think you'll be disappointed.
Disappointed, maybe scarred, possibly. Was excited, possibly.
Scarred is possible. I'll tell you one thing. You've never seen a mech suit like the one my character eventually acquires.
Oh dear. I don't want to.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
that's
can picture
right.
so many things, and I don't think I want to.
None of them are right. It's not at all what you'd think. It is so much better.
Oh dear. Well, I'll have to keep that in mind. Though I know the fans will probably attack me if I don't say anything about Attack on Titan. Aha, really horrible pun. So that project's really interesting just because of the way that that was announced. Because Funimation doesn't often use actors from the California area.
Yeah, I was very happy they reached out. I know I've worked with Mike McFarlane once before on the Sacred Star of Milos Full Metal Alchemist movie, and we've done some conventions together, and we've been friends. But it's hard to do the travel, and a lot of budgets don't really make room for a large amount of out-of-state actors. So I was surprised to get the auditions in, and even more surprised to have booked it, let alone to have me and Bryce and Lauren and a lot of out-of-state talent being able to be brought in on it. It's great. I mean, it's an anime that has such a large cast that you're hard pressed to not use all the talent you have at your disposal to kind of fill the world, and especially with the habit of the show kind of burning through characters. For those of you who've seen the series, know what I'm talking about. A lot of characters show up and then go away forever. So you have to have that readily available. But it was really great of Funimation to reach out and have some of the West Coast talent be a part of that, especially since I love the show so much and was so excited to even be a part of it, let alone one of my favorite characters. So it was a wonderful ride, and that was before I even knew how big the fandom was, and that's just been uh, crazy and awesome.
Well, it must be neat to be able to see that, on Toonami late at night and be like, that's me, I'm in
Yeah, for the like 5 lines I've had so far on Toonami.
that. But it gets
My character
better.
comes in more. Yeah, I know he gets there. Back end of the first season, he has much more involved role, but it is really cool. It's excited. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see like the promos for it, and the actually see it on the channel has been fantastic. And then having all the fan feedback, and everyone's been really awesome and positive. And it's cool to be part of that show's legacy on the Western side because it is such a great show. It's really uh, it's one of the standouts like Cowboy Bebop and a lot of the shows that really brought attention to anime as a media format to a larger audience than just the anime fans themselves. And I think that really is a tribute to how incredible the show is, both writing, presentation wise, music, everything.
And it definitely seems like the fans are actually helping with the advertisement because you're often seeing like live tweeting of people watching Attack on Titan on Toonami, which is really neat. I'm
Hmm.
glad social media has enabled us to be able to kind of get into anime as a group even more.
Yeah, yeah, it's great that it's definitely the community is uh, thanks, like you said, thanks to social media, thanks to just the way the internet communities work out, everyone can definitely hang out more as opposed to just chat on a forum board about it. Especially with Twitter being so instant, instantaneous feedback. It's great. It's really fun to watch everything just go crazy every Saturday night.
Definitely. And I have to say, talking about community, the community has almost funded a project that you're working on called Muzzled the Musical on Kickstarter. So, could you explain a
Yes.
little bit about this really interesting, kind of unique project?
Yeah, we've been developing it for about 3 years, and we finally got the right people involved, and after some uh, long time preparation, put our project on Kickstarter, and we're hoping to get you guys out there in the world interested in seeing it made. It's a musical. It's a web series musical about a modern day fantasy world. Imagine like Disney Fairyland with inner city ghetto and large scale modern day buildings. And so in this world, there is magic, but magic is based on your ability to sing. Your actual voice, your ability to sing allows you to command the elements around you and your general power and ability. And so there was a war 20 years previous in which the Royals and the Blackhearts fought. The Blackhearts lost and were relegated to the ghetto. And that's kind of where the quote unquote the villainous characters of any fantasy world are considered the Blackhearts and the Royals, the pretty princesses. And, the once Prince Charming is now the king, the Golden King. And our series follows the children of those who did this war. The main character, Malfalia, is the daughter of the Black Matron, the leader of the Blackhearts. And she has been kind of kept away in her mom's castle, looking off and wanting to be part of the royal society. Her friends tell her not to do that because the royals can be kind of mean girls-ish. But nevertheless, she reaches out to commune with them. Now, what the Blackhearts have done when they lost this battle is they were given what are called muzzle marks. They're these arcane marks placed on their throat that prevents them from singing without undergoing serious pain. It's kind of a control method for the Blackhearts. So she goes out, Malfalia goes out and meets these royal kids. They lure her into a false sense of friendship and then convince her to sing, hurting her and leaving her on the ground in pain, her throat smoking, laughing into the night. And then Malfalia decides to infiltrate and destroy royal society from the inside out. And that's kind of the basis of the story. We have a great cast. We have Ashley Birch, who also plays Sasha in Attack on Titan, and known from her web series, Hey Ash, What You Playin'? She plays our lead, Malfalia. We have a lot of other great YouTube talent like Mary-Kate Wiles and Ashley Clements from the Lizzie Bennet Diaries, as well as the other project I directed, School of Thrones. We also have Kevin Sorbo as the aged Prince Charming, now known as the Golden King, and Juliet Landau, who many of you know as Drusilla from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, playing the Black Matron, Malfalia's mother. So we have a really great cast, a really great crew, and a lot of fantastic talent involved. And we have 2 more weeks on the Kickstarter, so go look up Muzzled the Musical, and if you have any inkling, come help us get it made.
Now, one of the things that I thought was really interesting when you guys were starting the video is talking about how much post and pre-production goes into a musical. So what kind of hurdles have you found so far that made you guys turn to Kickstarter?
Hurdles involve the fact that a lot of trying to pitch to large-scale media outlets, and we've done our series of pitches with this project previously. Musicals can be a little more expensive than some of the lower end stuff that you would try and produce out of your living room per se. But also a lot of trends in television at the time were not leaning towards the fantasy musical realm. Of course, that's changed since our original pitch dates, and now we just want to go ahead and find the community that wants to see it happen. And as far as musical production, it is more expensive because you have to have all the songwriting and orchestration done ahead of time, to have the actors come in and record, and then most musical numbers themselves are a whole endeavor of montage shots and location changes, and you want to give things kind of a sweeping classic musical feel. And so that definitely comes with a level of production quality that we want to try and get across, but still be able to accomplish it on as realistic a budget as we possibly can muster. So it's been a very, very interesting challenge. Thankfully, we have Jason Charles Miller, who's an incredibly talented musician, handling the music production and the songwriting, and that's been a huge boon for us as well. So it's definitely challenging and different than anything else I've attempted to accomplish. But like I said, we have Sean Becker directing, who's a very, very talented director, and a lot of other great people. So I'm extremely confident and extremely excited.
Well, for those of you who haven't seen the Kickstarter video, I say go watch it because not only is it hilarious, but I'm sure it gives people a good taste of what to expect from the series.
That's what we were hoping for, yeah. Just give it just like an idea of like, look, we know what we're doing, we know what we can accomplish, and imagine what we could do if we actually had a budget, because this was all done out of pocket or for nothing, practically. So go check it out, please. Hope you like it.
Yeah, I liked a lot of the jokes in it. I especially actually like the part where Jason appeared with a few people in the background as well, and it was started to be all sad and dramatic. I thought that was probably the highlight
Yeah.
for me.
Oh man. And what's fun too is if you look in the background, if you recognize the 3 folks in the background are Jeff Lewis, who people would know as Vork from the Guild,
I know one of them
web
was the
series
guy
Guild.
from
Mike,
Mythbusters, I
yeah,
believe.
Grant Imahara from
Mhm.
Mythbusters, and then Mike Diva, who's a popular YouTube director and music video director. So we have fun little background silly references if you keep your eye out.
Well, I'm excited for this. I know that our fans really liked your series about Brawl. back in the day when we first interviewed you, way back. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure that they'll really love to, check out this Kickstarter. And are there any reward tiers that you want to pimp out to them? Anything that they should definitely pick up or that is worthwhile?
Well, I'm going to say we have a lot of really great reward tiers that involve, digital download soundtracks for the series once it's completed, signed autographs of different actors, part of the cast, full cast photos that are autographed. We have one tier that is a series of compliment songs that will actually write songs complimenting different donators that will have members of the cast sing. We have options for us to do, voicemails for you. I will do any voicemail of any character you prefer if you go ahead and donate to that tier, which is always fun. And then at the upper tier, if any of you guys are interested, we have a game night, a very limited space game night that I'll be running for the higher tier people that'll involve cast and crew, like a hangout for an entire afternoon and evening, just drinking, playing games, asking questions, having fun until the wee hours of the morning. So definitely check out those upper tiers and see if it's something you'd be interested in, because it'd be a lot of fun.
That sounds awesome. So, if you guys don't have any money in your pockets, which is a shame, you need a job, you bums, then you should definitely promote it on Twitter and Facebook because everything helps with these sort of projects. So,
Yeah, it's greatly appreciated, guys. You're all awesome.
well, for the fans who want to not just keep updated on your Kickstarter, but also what you're doing and where you're going, do you have any internet portals where they can follow you?
I do. You can find me on Facebook. Just do a search for Matthew Mercer, and I'll be the one with the weirdest icon, most likely. Or you can find me on Twitter at Matthew Mercer. And please do keep an eye out because I have a lot of really, really cool announcements coming in the next 6 months or so that I'm dying to talk about, but can't yet because I'm waiting for the projects to say that I can. But yeah, there's a lot of really cool things coming up, and that will be the best way to find out about them.
And now, for the fans that want to meet you in real life, do you have any conventions or events coming up?
I do. I have maybe an Anime Expo in Los Angeles on Saturday, I believe. I'll probably be there for a couple days, but yeah, I have an event on Saturday. I don't know the time yet, but when I'll do, I'll put it on my Twitter. Um, I'll be at AkaiCon at the beginning of August in Tennessee, I believe. Then I have MidoriCon towards the end of August. If I recall, that's over in the Ohio area. My brain isn't working. Let me check real fast on the Google so I go over to my
That's
computer and make sure I'm not embarrassing myself by getting the wrong location.
If it makes you feel better, I have to keep track of around 40 a year for the staff members that go to conventions, and that can get
Fair
extremely
enough.
confusing, especially when they're named the same thing, but they're spelled differently.
No, it is. It's Oregon, Ohio, is MidoriCon. I had it right. Boom. Look at that. But yeah, that's happening on September. Actually, no, that's no, it's not right. Not MidoriCon. MidoriCon, I don't think I can go to. It was. Ah, dang it. My brain isn't working. But yeah, I have conventions coming up. Uh,
Well, we'll keep tuned to your Facebook and your Twitter just to make sure we know when they are.
please do. Yeah, I think MidoriCon unfortunately fell through, but there's one before that. That's the other convention I'm going to be at is MatsuriCon. That is in Columbus, August 22nd to the 24th. So I will be there at MatsuriCon. Yay!
Yay!
But yeah, Twitter. Yay!
Yay, Twitter. Is there anything else, though, you'd like to tell the listeners out there? Any words of wisdom, dating advice, predictions for the end of the world?
Uh, I'm for the end of the world. It's a long ways off. I'm a generally optimistic person, so I think we're okay as long as we all decide to be chill, hang out, and respect each other's opinion and beliefs, and I think we'll be all right. As far as dating advice goes, be respectful, be honest. Be honest. Oh my God, guys, be honest. Um, and try and find people that have similar interests because in the long run, it makes for a much easier relationship. As far as just general advice, never forget your sense of play because as adults, the entire world is trying to force you to forget how to play around and be responsible and not use your imagination. I say, screw that. Never ever lose your sense of play.
Well, I have to applaud you because you're the first person to pick on all three. Everyone just picks one. So you broke a tradition of like you get to be the reigning
Yay!
champion of the ending of the interview.
Oh, do I get a belt?
Yeah, we can make you a beat sprite or send you a
I'll
t-shirt.
take that. Okay,
Either
I'm cool
are.
with that.
But no, thank you so much for joining us again. It's always a pleasure to catch up.
Of course, of course. Yeah, I hope to come and hit up you guys later this year when I can talk about more things.
That would be lovely. And for any of the fans out there that missed any of this interview, don't fret. You can find it on the website within the next few days, so keep your eyes peeled to 918thefan.com and your ears tuned to 91.8 The Fan, where we play everything you want and nothing you don't.